Hi, my name is Max Saunders with MA Capital Resources and the MA Money Merge Account Program. The MA Money Merge Account Program is the first and only real-time financial GPS. This powerful and innovative program has been designed to help you find some of the quickest mathematical solutions to zero debt. So sit back and relax and find out how the MA Money Merge Account Program can help you on the road to financial freedom.
When my husband left me after 15 years of marriage, he literally took everything. I mean, he left me with a huge pile of debt. I had 2 mouths to feed, my 2 kids, and I had a completely blank resume because I had been a stay-at-home mom this whole time, and I had actually dropped out of high school and didn't have a high school diploma, and I was completely unprepared for what had happened to me. I felt like I had been hit with a ton of bricks. And I was definitely not prepared, and bless my parents' heart, they never taught me the value of a dollar. And I was never taught, how to save, delayed gratification, anything like that. It was always credit cards, and so as you can imagine, when I went to go look for a job without a high school diploma and without any professional work experience, it was really difficult. My options were absolutely limited, and thank goodness for my friends and family. They kind of pulled together and pulled some money together and helped me with my mortgage payment and utility bills, but there's only so much they could do because they had bills of their own. And I was finally able to land a job, and it was a decent job, but the bills still kept piling up, and I almost walked away from everything. I almost walked away from my house and everything. I was so incredibly stressed out. And one day I was talking to a coworker about my situation, and come to find out she had gone through something similar and told me about this debt program. And so we set up an appointment, and I can honestly tell you that it changed my life. It was one of the best decisions I have ever made in my entire life. And I will be debt-free in 8 years. And I'm smiling right now because it just gets me so excited. I mean, if you think about it, 8 years, that's not very long. And sometimes I'll log in, even if I don't have anything to update, just to look at the dashboard, because it's so exciting to me. And I can pass these tools on to my kids. This program isn't just for people that came from my situation. This program can be for anybody at all. And if I had any advice for anybody, I would say don't wait. I would say don't wait another payday, don't wait another collection call, do it now, because it changed my life. It can change yours. The Money Merge Account Program is awesome. It works.
History has been altered and defined through huge advancements in technology. Technology has finally caught up with personal finance. Introducing the most advanced personal financial program ever created. Through this program, people everywhere are now able to get out of debt and build wealth virtually on autopilot. This smart software system is programmed with a vast number of the most effective financial strategies ever created. Banks have benefited from these debt reduction and wealth building strategies for decades. Finally, you can use these same financial strategies to your benefit to get out of debt and build wealth in just a fraction of the normal time. After your initial setup, the system begins analyzing your existing financial picture and lifestyle 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. In the same manner as your vehicle GPS is programmed to do, this system automatically analyzes and recalculates your most efficient path to financial freedom as changes occur in your day-to-day financial life. Everything you'll need to monitor and control your personal finances can be accomplished simply by viewing these 3 boxes and using these 4 tabs. First, we would like to call your attention to the financial dashboard. The dashboard displays the progress you're making on your debt payoff at a glance. The individual boxes of the dashboard are called dashlets. The dashlets can be changed to display additional information, as we can see here. As you will see later, our example client John and Rebecca Jones were scheduled to pay back over $231,677 in interest over a 30-year period. As you can see by the dashlets display, John and Rebecca are now on schedule to pay off in 8.9 years versus 30 years and pay back only $64,809 versus $231,677 in mortgage interest alone. That's an interest savings of over $165,000. John and Rebecca Jones are able to accomplish all of this, and they did not have to refinance their existing mortgage, increase their current income, or change their current lifestyle. While the dashlets allow you to monitor multiple points of progress at any time, these 4 tabs make navigating and monitoring your personal finances as easy as point and click. The action plan is preloaded to provide you with the following: a 3-month at-a-glance display of your current financial situation, visual prompts and reminders telling you where your money is coming from and where your money is going, intuitive programming to recalculate with your daily changing life in real time with simplicity and ease. The program is designed with the debt elimination and wealth accumulation strategies already programmed into the system to keep you on track, saving money, eliminating debt, and accumulating wealth, now and for your future. The Budget tab allows you to automatically add or remove income or living expenses, track your progress through any given month, categorize and subcategorize each budgeted item, separate business from personal income and expenses, access automated bill pay to pay any expenses anywhere in the world. No longer do you need to worry about running complex calculations, spreadsheets, and coordinating multiple account registers. The Budget section enables you to know exactly where you are financially at all times from one convenient location. The Accounts tab intuitively enables you to add and remove any bank accounts or loans, view your account details such as account balance, rate, term, type, and more, display existing and potential assets, conveniently update all of your accounts from any financial institution automatically. Now you can automatically view all of your accounts from one central location, as if each account was serviced and managed from the same banking institution. No more juggling accounts. No more stress over, did I pay that bill? No more late fees, and no more worry. And the 4th tab, the Report tab, displays your progress from the beginning of the program, automatically displays all of your interest rates, calculates your interest earned and paid, charts your potential wealth accumulation, and provides the needed information for tax time. At last, you can automatically track and display in detail the progress you are making toward debt elimination and wealth accumulation with simplicity and ease. Now that you are a little more familiar with the dashlets and the 4 navigation tabs, we would like to give you a glimpse of the program in action by introducing you to our sample client John and Rebecca Jones and some typical scenarios that occur with daily financial situations. John and Rebecca have been on the program now for 3 months. Before John and Rebecca started on the program, they had 30 years left to pay on their mortgage. They also have a car loan, a signature loan, and a student loan. To remind you, John and Rebecca were on schedule to pay $231,677 in mortgage interest over 30 years. As you can see, with the program, John and Rebecca are now scheduled to be paid off in 8.9 years versus 30 years, and now only have $64,809 left in interest to pay versus $231,677, and after being on the program for only 3 months, have already saved $25,689 in interest over their standard schedule. The dashboard displays the elimination of all their debt, not just their mortgage. Pay raises and decreases are a typical occurrence in our daily financial life. We would like to show you how the system reacts to a seemingly small raise in pay. Rebecca has been working for the same retailer for some time. She is informed that she is receiving a promotion and a pay raise. Her new position will be as supervisor, and she will go from a semi-monthly pay schedule to bi-weekly pay schedule. This means she will now have 26 paychecks a year instead of 24. She will also receive a $15.18 increase per check. In the past, if Rebecca made more money, she would typically, that's right, spend more money. But with the program, Rebecca can now see how small changes in income can drastically affect her overall financial picture. As you can see, the dashboard is now displaying 8.0 years to pay off and only $58,298 in interest remaining. That's almost another year saved and over $6,500 in additional interest savings. How powerful is that? What could you do with the money saved by eliminating nearly a year of debt payments on top of the years you are already saving? We can all agree, without the program, Rebecca never would have calculated what that pay increase would have meant to her overall financial strategy. Is this something you would like to have taken the time to figure out for yourself? Is this something you would have done on your own? It makes you wonder what the impact of your seemingly unimportant daily financial decisions are, like cost of eating out frequently. Well, let's find out together. John, on his way to work every morning, stops for a coffee and a snack and usually eats lunch out. We will say that totals about $50 a week and about $200 a month. Say that John wants to see how much money and time he will save using the program, simply by eating breakfast at home and bringing a lunch to work. Say that saves John $150 per month. As we can see, the result of this seemingly small change is that John and Rebecca would knock off an additional 5 months of debt payments and would save almost another $4,000 in interest just by making this minor improvement to their spending habits. Most individuals are unaware of the impact seemingly small or insignificant financial decisions they make every day have on their plans for the future. Whether that be planning for the kids to go to college, buying an investment property, or just preparing for a comfortable retirement, every financial decision we make has impact, some decisions more than others. The dashboard is currently displaying 7.5 years to pay off and $54,474 in interest remaining. John and Rebecca are considering ordering a new bed set from a catalog for one of the kids' bedrooms. In the past, the typical consideration would be, can we afford the payment? Or do we have the money on hand for the purchase? Most consumers never take the time, nor do they have the ability to figure out what the impact of each buying decision has on their current or future financial health. John and Rebecca will ask the software what the impact could be. By entering a $750 bed set, John and Rebecca will add a new action for their purchase on the action plan. If we take a look at the line item they created in the action plan, we can see a reporting feature for forecasting we call True Cost. True Cost shows the principal amount of that particular item, plus the long-term lost interest savings that transaction will take from their overall debt-free equation. As shown here, the true cost of the bed set works out to be $1,212. This simply reflects the principal amount of $750 plus the interest savings of $462 that will be lost long-term by buying this item. After consulting each other, John and Rebecca decide the purchase is worth the overall cost and decide to purchase the item. They click on the item and pay for it through online bill pay, as indicated by the bill pay icon. The funds will now be automatically sent from their designated account to the bed set company. At least now, John and Rebecca are making an informed, educated decision looking at the big picture rather than making impulsive financial decisions. This is just one more example of the insightful interest savings capabilities of the program. We want to be clear. The program will eliminate any debt, not just mortgage debt. This means that not only could you have your home and all of your debt paid off in a fraction of the normal time, you could also have additional assets paid off in a fraction of the time. Assets such as rental income properties, a small business, or a vacation home. John and Rebecca have made wonderful progress with their program, and after some forecasting with the program, they've decided to invest in a rental property. The property will have an $899 mortgage payment, and they have secured a renter for $1,200 per month. To see the overall effect of the rental property, they need to add the new property and rental income to their debt-free equation. After entering the rental's basic 30-year mortgage information and the monthly rental income into the program, the dashboard now shows a 9.7-year total payoff versus the previous 7.5-year payoff in the program, which only included their installment debt and their primary mortgage. The dashboard also shows $119,271 in interest remaining versus the previous $54,474 interest remaining in the program. While this does take John and Rebecca a little over 2 years longer to become completely debt-free, they will now have both their installment debt, the primary residence, and their income-generating rental paid for free and clear in 9.7 years. If John and Rebecca had followed the normal 30-year mortgage term on both their primary residence and their rental property, they would have paid a total of $405,435 in combined mortgage interest. Now, by following this cutting-edge program, John and Rebecca's total remaining interest is only $119,271. John and Rebecca now have the knowledge that they will be completely debt-free, including their primary residence, their new rental income property, and their installment debt in only 9.7 years. In closing, it is important to know that as aggressively as this system can eliminate debt, the system also assists you in the aggressive accumulation of wealth. The graph found in the reports section represents what could happen if John and Rebecca Jones were to take the money they no longer have to pay toward debt and simply got a conservative 1% return over the same time frame that they normally would have just been paying off their original 30-year mortgage. As shown on the screen, their potential wealth accumulation could total over $2 million. Not only have John and Rebecca eliminated all their debt in a fraction of the regular time, they've built for themselves a residual income with rental property. They are free and clear on 2 properties and on course for a significant financial nest egg. All of this is done using advanced bank-level security, so you can be assured your information is always protected. As we've witnessed from history, repeating the same process over and over again never achieves different results. If someone showed you how you could be debt-free and building a significant financial nest egg in a fraction of your currently scheduled time, what would that mean to you? Would you take more time for your family, for your community, or simply more time for whatever you want? Now is the time to act on your financial future. With the power of this program, you'll be ready to join the thousands of others just like you that were once burdened with debt, but now have their financial picture strategically analyzed 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, even while they're asleep. Now that's debt elimination and wealth accumulation on autopilot. As simple as this system is to use, you are also provided with live customer support for any needs you may have. Isn't living in the 21st century great? Get started today to realize just how much this amazing system can change your financial future.
Hello, my name is Mark.
I'm Terry. My husband and I were engaged and we began the house hunt, which we were really excited about. We were so happy to be finding our first house together until we got out there and started looking, and then we both got so discouraged.
We loved some places, but they were just way too expensive. And then it seemed like all the places that we could afford were either dumps or, they had like an unfinished basement.
No offense to my husband, but he's not the fixer-upper type. So that was out of the question, and there was just nothing that we liked.
But where I work, I'm a software developer, and I happened to get a raise. And it was just enough money that we could make a bigger down payment on one of the homes that we really loved. And we ended up getting into a really nice home, $400,000 home.
I quit my job, we had a little girl, and everything seemed to be going perfectly.
And then one day, I went into work and got the little pink slip, and it was over. I got laid off. A lot of my friends got laid off that worked there.
We'd always been the type who had been smart with our finances, but things that were totally out of our control happened, and all of a sudden we felt like we were left with nothing.
I was talking to one of my buddies, and he invited me over to his house to talk with a representative of his company. And they talked to me about something called the Money Merge program, and it was incredible. I didn't have a job, but I knew this is what I needed to help our family out.
And it worked out perfectly for us. Money Merge saved our home, it saved our marriage, and we couldn't be happier. We're so grateful that we found it.
My parents retired in 1975, and less than a year later they were killed in a traffic accident. So I inherited the family home, the house that I had grown up in. And so I didn't have a house payment for 3 decades. I had no money problems whatsoever. Bought what I want when I wanted. I even financed some things when I really didn't need to because I thought it would improve my credit. I don't know if it really did or not. I even had some money left over from the sale of the house I had lived in before I moved back into my childhood home, and I just spent it on a truck or a riding lawnmower and a trip to California. So I don't even have anything tangible that I can hold on to after that $23,000. But after 3 decades of not having a house payment, I retired and found that I didn't have enough money to live on. So I ended up having to get a job when I wanted to kick back and enjoy life, I was back to the punching a clock, 40-hour work weeks, something I didn't expect at all. So then I learned about reverse mortgages, so I went through the paperwork process, signed up for that, and then I was paying money back on a house that I already owned for 3 decades, and it just didn't seem like things were working right, and I didn't have enough money to live on and take care of household maintenance and just living life, my retirement life. So I started cutting back on cable TV, cell phone minutes, anything that I could recoup money back into my budget. And I was talking to my car insurance guy, and he said that he had been selling a software program at night to help people get out of debt, control their finances, and get them onto the road to financial freedom, as he called it. So I met with him and got excited about the program. It's called the Money Merge program, and I've been on it now for a while. It's totally changed my way of thinking about money, because money used to burn a hole in my pocket, but now, every penny has got a place, and I move it when the program tells me to move it, and I'll even have money to pass along to family members after I'm gone. I'll be debt free.
The Money Merge account program works with the same money management principles many of you already use. These include keeping a savings account for tucking money away, using a checking account in order to easily access and move your money, and potentially utilizing various lines of credit to responsibly draw on money as needed or to have as a reserve. Having a mortgage or multiple types of debt is a typical part of the average person's overall financial picture. Here's the interesting thing though. When we look at a debt, we all too often only focus on the interest rate or the lowest possible monthly payment. Even though lenders are required to tell us how much the total payments will be over the course of a loan, it's easy to see only what we want to see. So, let's take a look at our sample loan for John and Rebecca Jones. Their original loan amount was $200,000 with a 30-year or 360-month term. They have a fixed interest rate of 6%, which gives them a monthly payment of $1,199.10. If they make every payment on time with no additional funds applied to principal for 30 years and they don't refinance that loan or move to another location, they'll pay back a total of $431,676. That means they borrowed $200,000 in principal and they're now obligated to pay back an additional $231,676 in interest alone. That's more than they borrowed in the first place. Most of the interest on closed-end loans is paid at the beginning of the loan. This is called front-end loading the loan. Let's take a moment and review the amortization schedule for John and Rebecca's loan. If John and Rebecca make their first payment to this loan, we can see that $1,000 goes to interest and $199.10 is applied to the principal of that loan. If we move on to month number 2, we can see that the principal contribution to this loan has only increased by $1, with $200.10 now being applied to the principal loan amount. In the first year of their loan, provided John and Rebecca's home is still worth $200,000, they'll have made $14,389 in payments, and their potential equity position is only $2,457. By year 5, they have made $71,946 in total payments, and their potential equity position is only $13,891. In fact, it will take John and Rebecca 21 years following their contracted payment schedule to pay back just 1/2 of the original principal loan amount. By the time they pay $100,000 in principal, they'll have paid approximately $200,000 in interest. So, even though a 6% interest rate seems pretty low, when you're looking at a volume of money as large as a home mortgage, the interest really adds up. With the Money Merge account program, we finally have a tool to effectively manage our mortgage and our consumer debt. I mentioned earlier that the Money Merge account program uses well-known banking tools and strategies that many of us are very familiar with. The minimum requirements for the Money Merge account program are that the user has a checking and savings account. The Money Merge account program needs 2 separate accounts for maximum efficiency. So,
Let's take a minute and identify some of these accounts and assign them some simple terminologies. The first account the program will need we'll call a deposit account. This is simply any account into which we can deposit money or our income and which can be used to easily access our money. The most commonly used deposit accounts would be a checking or a savings account. Along with this deposit account, the program will also need a separate or secondary account that we will call a facilitating account. The most common facilitating accounts are savings accounts and lines of credit like a personal, business, or a home equity line of credit. What the Money Merge account program does is to tell the user exactly how much money to move, exactly when to move that money, and the most efficient accounts to use. As you earn and deposit money into your designated deposit account, the program will strategically allocate money to build up reserves in your facilitating account with any funds that are not currently being used. This can result in interest earned in a savings account or interest canceled in a line of credit. As you proceed through a month, you'll be following the prompts of the software to either deposit money into your deposit account or transfer very precise dollar amounts of money to your facilitating account. Once the software recognizes that you and the software working together have accumulated the proper amount of reserves in your facilitating account, it will then trigger an auto-generated funds transfer to attack a specific debt. The mathematical engines that drive the program constantly monitor the reserves available in the facilitating account and will occasionally prompt you to send strategic, principal-only payments called funds transfers to a specific debt. These funds transfers are calculated to the penny, are prompted by the software at the most optimal time, and are directed toward quickly paying down the debt, all of which will result in the best possible interest savings. In the case of John and Rebecca's mortgage example, sending a funds transfer of $5,000 in the first year of the loan could save them more than $23,000 of future interest and eliminate about 2 years' worth of monthly payments. By consistently following this tailor-made plan of strategic funds transfers over the course of the program, paying off a 30-year debt in a half to 1/3 of the time actually becomes reality. And if you think the results are amazing based on one loan, like a mortgage, imagine what it can do for the majority of people who have multiple debts. The more debts you have, the more overwhelming it can be to come up with a plan to pay those debts down. Did you know that having just 6 debts mathematically presents over 700 possible payoff scenarios? Take a look at these debts. How many of these do you currently have? How do you know you currently have the best game plan to follow? Would you even know where to start? The beauty of the Money Merge account program is that it will actually examine every debt you have, such as car loans, credit cards, student loans, mortgages, and more. After looking at every possible scenario for paying those debts off, the program will present you with your own tailor-made strategy to pay off your debt completely in a time frame you wouldn't have believed possible. As simple as the system is for the user, the math calculations and programming within the system are incredibly complex. It took years of research, development, programming, and testing to perfect it. It takes the guesswork out of your plan. Its precise calculations examine every aspect of your financial picture and adjusts with your daily life. Your financial future is now as easy as point and click.
The MA Money Merge account program has helped tens of thousands of people just like you save millions of dollars in future interest, turning what was once payments to debt into usable income to build wealth. Get with the agent that introduced you to this powerful debt elimination solution and find out what the MA Money Merge account program can do for you today. Now is the time for you to take control of your financial future with MA Capital Resources and the MA Money Merge account program.